to the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Smith's Chiefs going up against Wilson's Seahawks. So let's get you up to CenturyLink Field in Seattle. On the call, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Seattle Seahawks. First carry, able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
Now Wilson on second down. And left side here, it's Graham. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They go play action here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And he hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
When you have a quarterback who can move and get outside the pocket, yet still keep his eyes downfield and find open targets, you have a very dangerous player at that position.
On second down, rolls. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. A big play there on the screen pass. 32 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. On first down, Wilson going for the deep ball. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 30 yards. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And there's a flag on the field. And the kickoff sails out of bounds, and that's going to be a penalty.
You can see the looks on the faces of the rest of the team. You have one job to do. Just kick the ball and play.
Well, that's exactly right, Charles. The kicker, this is just inexcusable.
Absolutely inexcusable. Everyone out there slugging it out for the entire game.
On 1st and 10, Smith. To the right side, it's Kelsey. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordinate.
Jamal Charles, nobody in front. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jamal Charles, 53 yards. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
On third down, Wilson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. He gets it to Thomas. A big play there for KC. 44 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
On the ground, it's the first carry here for Jamal Charles. And he's brought down after a good game. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. Throwing again is Smith. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are in for 6. The play clock's running down. And there's a flag on the play. They'll try it again now after the 5-yard walk-off. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last return this year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Here we go with Jamal Charles. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Smith on 1st down. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Chiefs a 1st down.
And there's a completion to Travis Kelsey. I think he's starting to come into his own as a tight end and as a player. And that makes his quarterback, Alex Smith, really happy.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Again, it's Charles. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. They'll need to get the play off quickly. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And he's got his man in stride, complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Time running out here on the play clock. On 4th down, Smith. A dump off for Charles. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Kelsey out in the slot right. The first down carry here for Charles. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They come out here in the eye. Now Smith will turn and give this to his fullback, Sherman. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Anthony Sherman, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Well, it was 2nd and goal. You're in there close. That's the fullback's comfort zone.
Not only is it his comfort zone, it's an expectation. That's what he's supposed to do. Turn and hand it to him. Big guys fire out. Find your way into the end zone.
It's good, and it is now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
On 2nd down, Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
You can't give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence. I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we get this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Now he's flushed out left. He may try and run for this. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the 1st down.
Drops it underneath for Rawls. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls, 33 yards. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And out come the Chiefs now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves him needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short.
3rd down now following the run. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On 1st and 10, Smith. And Thomas has it. And he's brought down. They'll get 17 yards there. And that'll be good for a KC first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On 2nd down, Jamal Charles. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily.
But I think the ball's out. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Derek Johnson. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Alex Smith in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast, a quickness and speed. They catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On first down, it's Smith. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The incompletion there, but looking at the pass game across the board in the NFL, Charles, week 2 of the preseason, they experimented with a second back.
You pointed out there, game 2, all games, the experiment happened. The extra official, the 8th guy, he will affect the passing game, but he'll also affect the running game because he'll watch inside to see for illegal blocks and holding. Just think about it this way, though. If they're trying it out here in the preseason, look for it to become a permanent deal in the NFL starting in 2017.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Smith on first down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll run the option left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. They'll run it with West. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Charkandrick West from 17 yards out. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener.
Man, this motherfucker quit the game. This nigga tried. He just got back on.
My name is Kamal.